Welcome back guys to the new game review, and today we have the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba The Hinokami Chronicles 2. Under the 12 hours I've played on this game and the 100-ish hours on the first, I will say this. I'll say, with it being a side games arena fighter as always, it is pretty good game as far as arena fighters go. They have made a handful of improvements that was sort of lacking in the previous one, and while not really presented in your face visible, the defense stat doesn't seem that present in the game across the characters. Perhaps someone can correct me if this is wrong, but it feels as if universally everyone takes the same amount of damage. Of course, not doing the same amount of damage, but you know what I mean. Rengoku would do the same damage against a demon as he would any other characters, and it doesn't vary too wildly that playing other characters don't feel like a determinant against the certain teams. While they made improvements, there are things I wish they didn't really alter. As in the story mode, while it's okay as far as presentation goes, QTA cinematic showing of the story close to one and fun you're gonna get, of course. While this may sound like a skill issue, I didn't personally find it fun. The enemies, while different, ran away, spammed block and had a ton of armor moves. Cool, I mean, sure. They're AI, just figure it out. They're not hard preset, but it's tedious. It doesn't exactly feel fun to deal with. On top of this, it didn't include what I said, like mid-combat sequences or cinematics for some of more notable moments in the anime. Weird to say, but getting to the QTAs didn't feel as rewarding because of how the AI is one designed. 2. How much HP they have or how much damage you deal making it take a hot minute to get there. 3. At times. It felt too long that by the time you get into the QTAs, it's like finally this shit is over. Of course, they delivered of cinematics as always. It's side games, like, come on. Granted, I've only played a handful of multiplayer matches, the game feels a lot more smoother to play, as in my frames aren't eating dirt when I'm fighting Tengen or someone who spams crap on my screen. Of course, you will find these connectors in the game, and sometimes the match will just randomly disconnect. That's just better of course. Fighting wise, it feels steady as a much more notable improvement. As for customization, like profile, character, etc., mostly the same as the first game, with a few picks as the physical costumes go nothing like surprising or wow factor, but it's nice. On top of this, they've added of course second ultimates for a lot of characters from the first. None for the demons, for some reason, at the least their standalone counterparts. Daki and Gyutaro, Susumaru and Arrowman as a singular unit technically get a new ultimate, but it's not exactly the same as their standalone getting one. Akaza, Enmu and Ryu do not have a new ultimates, it's the same as the first, which I suppose, but I think they should have been given the same treatment as Demon Slayers. A minor nitpick is that the quote you had on your profile in the game doesn't show here. Not like anyone really read them, but it was cool to see what people picked for their profile quotes or whatever. Just neat, I suppose, not sure why it was removed. It's there, but when you make with another person, you literally do not see what code they have placed in their thing, so you can choose it for yourself to see. But no one else can, so I don't quite see the point of having it with being said. Nonetheless, if you're not a big fan of Demon Slayer, I would advise getting this game at a full price. I would suggest to get it on a discount if any of your friends play it. Probably more than one, so it doesn't turn into another one of those games you just bought to play with another person. I know the feeling. It's fun to play for multiplayer rank, albeit very simple, and of course there will obviously be characters that are better than others. But you can definitely play who you want. I pray for anyone who plays Yushiro, seriously. Of all the characters, they should have been them with at least a higher damage numbers. Besides that, everyone can be played. It's fun, is it worth $60? I don't know at this moment, perhaps when more content comes out. I swear to God, if they don't release Yoichi, I'm gonna crash out. but as it stands, I'll suggest waiting for a discount if you're not a big fan of arena fighters but like Demon Slayer. If you don't mind a good arena fighter with a somewhat story mode, feel free. Always will be a pleasure